What's up guys, it's Brandon with Extreme Daily Drivers. We are always balling on a budget and wrenching in our garage, and today I'm going to show you what it takes to get ready for a motorcycle camping trip. Welcome to another Extreme Daily Drivers video. This week I'm going motorcycle camping, which is awesome. I've only done it one other time. It was a great time, so I'm super excited to do it again. A lot goes into going motorcycle camping. You just don't jump on your bike and go. You gotta pack, you gotta prepare, and it takes a long time to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. I'm gonna show you everything you need to go motorcycle camping. Before I get into what I actually bring on the trip, I wanna go over what I do to the bike before I go on any long motorcycle trip. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick wash. After it's washed and dried, I go over it with a quick detailer. This gives me an opportunity to get up close and personal with the bike and to really see if anything has been leaking, or if there are bolts that are loose, or if there's any damage from the last trip. If I find some bolts that are loose, I'll grab a wrench and tighten them up. I also like to change the oil after a long trip. It doesn't cost a lot of money, it's easy to do, and it gives me good peace of mind. So to prepare the bike for the next trip, first thing you want to do is make sure you check your tire pressure. I like to run 30 psi when I'm riding on the street, and then once I get off road, I lower it down to somewhere between 15 and 20. So now that the bike's been cleaned, all loose bolts have been tightened, the oil's been changed, and the tire pressure's been checked, it's now time to load this thing up and get it ready for our trip. So when it comes to motorcycle luggage, there are basically two forms. You can get a hard case like this, which is perfect for this application here on the back of my bike. It holds all of my tools as well as any essentials I may need that doesn't go in my tank bag. What's great about this thing is it's waterproof, it's sturdy, it's strong, and it's lockable. So another way to go is soft luggage, which is what I have here. I have a combination of some Nelson rig saddlebags, which will straddle the rear seat and hang off the sides of the bike. And then I have a dry spec travel bag, I think it's called. This will sit on the top of the seat right behind my hard case. Now what's awesome about soft luggage is it's a lot cheaper than hard luggage. That's number one. We're always balling on a budget here at Extreme Daily Drivers, so you know we're going to go the smartest, most inexpensive route that we can. Another great thing about these things is they're totally waterproof. Another great thing is that if we have a tip over, if we have an accident, if we fall, these aren't going to break. They might tear, they can be fixed with some zip ties, maybe with some duct tape, but they will not shatter, break, and become useless. Hard luggage will become useless and break and shatter if you have a little tip over or a small crash. And the last great thing about soft luggage, particularly these saddlebags, is they're going to hang off the sides of the bike, and if there's ever an instance where my foot would come off the bike and kick backwards while the bike is traveling forward, these will not cause my ankle to break, unlike hard luggage. Hard luggage are absolutely known for breaking ankles and feet when they're used off-road. So that was probably the biggest reason why I decided to go with soft luggage. So now you guys know all the differences between hard luggage and soft luggage. Let's quit talking about it and get these things on the bike. Seen someone take so long to put some soft luggage on their motorcycle. I haven't done it in a year, so it took me a while to figure out and remember exactly how to put it back on the motorcycle. But they're on there good and tight, they're not going anywhere. They aren't all cinched up or anything because there's nothing in them right now. After we get them loaded, we'll go ahead and cinch them down and they'll be nice and strong on the bike. We don't have to worry about them moving around as we ride. But for now, we're going to go ahead, we're going to mount this guy up here. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Alright, we got this guy on here, nice and tight, and would you believe it, I have another piece of luggage. This one's a twisted throttle bag. That's going to go on top of here. God, can you believe all this luggage? It takes a lot to go camping. But anyway, we got to get this guy and put him on top here. But before we do that, we're going to load this guy up. So let me show you what I put in this top bag. So before we load this twisted throttle bag up, let me show you exactly what goes inside. First, we have my tent. with a tarp that I put underneath the tent for some extra protection so we don't pierce through the bottom of our tent floor. We have our rods and our tie downs for the tent. In this bag here, this is a rain fly. I've never taken it out of here because I've never used it, but I bring it just in case. What this is basically a shelter that I would tie between a couple trees, which I've never done before. So maybe I'll get a chance to do it. We'll have to see what the campground's like. I am going to bring a hammock as well, just in case. Never use that either, but you never know. I might get a great opportunity, and it's supposed to be awesome to sleep in. So maybe we'll give that a shot, depending on what the weather conditions are like. But anyway, I bring this just for the hell of it. It's small, it doesn't weigh anything. If I never use it, I never use it. Who cares? This is awesome. If you don't have one of these and you go camping, then you need to go buy one right now on Amazon for like $55. Static V inflatable sleeping mat, I guess you'd call it. This thing packs up so small. This is basically a little bit bigger than a can of soda. It's super light, it's very inexpensive, and it's very comfortable. So we're going to inflate this, put our sleeping bag on top of it. That'll get us off the ground, keep us warm, and keep us comfortable. So again, get one of these if you don't have it. So all that goes in this little bag. Super easy to load up. It's a pretty cool design. Everything kind of on this bike is the same way. You roll the ends, you tie them down, or you clip them down. And that way they're waterproof, and you can also access one side of it if you only want to access one side. Throw that there, that in there, that in there, and check it out. All loaded up, ready to go on the bike. So we got a tent, the ground poles, our sleeping mat, and a rain fly, just in case. So now let me show you what goes into the top bag. This isn't everything that'll be in there. There'll be some clothes in there as well, but basically this is the rest of the camping stuff that I'll be bringing with me. So to start off, we're going to bring one of these little REI sit pads. This is a little inflatable cushion that you can sit on, or you can use underneath your pillow, or you can use kind of anytime you want to sit down on something. I just bought it the other day. I've never used it. It got really good reviews online, and it can be used a million different ways. So I'm bringing it. It doesn't weigh anything, and it's really small. So if it weighs nothing and is small, it's worth bringing. If it's heavy, big, and dumb, you leave it at home. So anyway, I'm bringing this guy. These are straps for my hammock, tent. Actually, it's just a hammock. It's not a tent. But anyway, these guys working together. Let me string the tent up and sleep in it if the weather calls for it. First aid kit, pretty straightforward. This is my camping chair. It's the one that has two legs. So I really should open it up and show you how it works, but if you just look up, Google search two-legged chair, two-legged camping chair, you'll see exactly what this is. Plus when you see my movie that I'll be making next, I'm sure you'll see me sitting in it. Anyway, what this is a little camping chair. You always gotta have a good camping chair. This thing's light, packs away small, so it comes. This is my sleeping bag, which comes with its own little cinch sack, which is pretty sweet. It is a mummy type bag, which is good and bad. It's great in cold weather. I got kind of big shoulders, so I barely fit in the thing, but it's awesome because it packs down so small. Right here's my pillow that goes along with it. And then we have a camping fan, which is also a light. Oh, I pushed the wrong thing. Oh, there's the fan part, and there's the light part. This thing's pretty cool. If you're like me, you always want kind of air circulating, and sometimes when you're camping in a tent, things can get stuffy. So good thing to have. This is heavy and cumbersome and has giant batteries in it. So this is like something I kind of feel like is necessary, but if I had to omit something based off of size and weight, this would definitely be the first thing that go because it's super cumbersome and it's heavy. Here's a little mounting bracket that goes with that. And here is a little knife, which you have to hit safety to open. This is great for cutting down branches or anything else that has to happen. So this can be used a million different ways. It doesn't weigh anything. It's super small, packs down to nothing. So that's why it comes. So anyway, this is what goes in the top bag, along with probably a sweatshirt or two. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing packed. So I just got everything I just showed you in this top bag, along with my favorite sweatshirt. So I just want to show you how cool this is when it's all cinched down. Basically, the way it works is that those open flaps, they roll down, and then they clip in tight. This handle goes on top of it, And it's not 100% tied down yet because I still have to put the top bag on, but it's pretty darn secure. And this is going to be a great little backrest for me as I'm riding. And it's totally waterproof. I mean, there's almost, you can feel it's kind of like a pillow because the air can't escape. You could take this bag and throw it in a swamp and come get it a week later, open it up, and everything will be totally dry inside. That's what makes these things so freaking cool. So anyway, just wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like when it's all collapsed and connected to the bike. So check it out. How cool is that? Thing is like a rock. These bags are connected via these straps. They go through these loops on each side of the bag. The little bag connects to the big bag. Big bag connects to the bike via these straps down here. I don't know if you can see them, but it's the same sort of idea, except these connect to the crash bars on the motorcycle. So super secure, nice and firm. These will definitely make it to the campsite where once we make it there, all this stuff comes off, everything gets unpacked, and the motorcycle goes back to the way it was originally. But when you gotta travel, might as well travel in style. Travel with some sweet soft bags like these. Keep your stuff nice and dry and safe. All right, so lastly we are gonna pack up these saddlebags, and I wanna show you inside of here. What I did is I got some plastic garbage cans from Walmart, you can see in here, and I cut the tops off. I put a little black trim around the jagged top, which obviously comes off every now and then. But anyway, what these plastic garbage pails do in here is they help this bag keep its shape. So even when they're empty, they still look okay. If you just have these things empty, they will look really weird strapped on your motorcycle. So I put the garbage can in there. It helps to hold shape, and it also helps kind of stabilize whatever you put inside of here. So although these bags look really, really big, they aren't as big as you might think they'll be. So I'm going to load them up with clothes and some toiletries and stuff that I'll need on the trip that haven't made it into these two main bags. But you always want to load your heaviest things first in the bottom, and then as you progressively get to the top, you want it to be lighter. Also, it's important to note that besides my hard case back here, these are the most easily accessible. So if I need something like real quick, this is where I want to go if it's not already in my tank bag. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get these things packed, get them rolled down, and that'll be a wrap. So there you go, guys, all packed up and ready for the trip tomorrow. Oh my God, I'm tired. It takes a lot to go on a motorcycle camping trip, let me tell you. But this is how you should do it if you're going to do it. Have good luggage, secure to the bike in a fashion where it's not going to move anywhere, preferably waterproof, and that way your trip there is just going to be no hassles, no drama, just like a regular old motorcycle ride. Once you get there, all this stuff comes off, everything gets unpacked, motorcycle's back to normal, you ride for a couple days, and the horrible part is packing it all up again for your ride home. But anyway, I hope you learned something today. I hope you got to see a little bit about what goes into motorcycle camping. If it's something you're ever interested in doing, it's awesome. It's so much fun. I highly recommend it. It does get a little pricey. You got to buy all this stuff. Not only do you have to buy the stuff to put on your bike, but you also have to buy all the gear that goes with it. And you can see a lot of the stuff that I have is very lightweight, very compact, and whenever you start getting lightweight and compact, when it comes to camping stuff, that's when the price goes up, up, and up. But there's still some bargains out there. As you can see, some of the things that I purchased really weren't all that expensive. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to have a great video coming up next week of the trip itself. So you'll get to see all the stuff unpacked, you'll get to see the tent set up and the campsite, and you'll get to see everything that I forgot to bring. One last note for the guys watching this saying, hey, he forgot bug spray, or he forgot lip balm, and he forgot a hat. I have all that stuff. That stuff's always on here. It's in here, it's always on the bike. So a lot of the little things that, yes, you should definitely bring bug spray, yes, you should definitely bring lip balm, you should definitely bring a charging device. I have all that stuff. So it's all on here, it's always on here in case I need it. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.